Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
We're going to do another update, this time on the G4 implosion. And Frosk is out there giving her side of the story and throwing her bosses under the bus. Yeah, wait for that to happen.
Why did it take so long after she got fired to do it?
I don't know.
Because NDAs would last for months.
Maybe she just doesn't care. Maybe
But I was
she
just like, you get fired, and now there's suddenly the story.
Well, she had a couple of tweets, and she said that's basically all I can say.
Well, other reason I'm thinking it might be possible is other people close to the situation have said this prior to Frost saying it.
It could be. Look, before we get into this, there were a lot of mistakes made with G4. Frost,
How much time you got?
Frost's rant, like we said in the previous video, there's gonna be like a 3-hour documentary, multiple 3-hour documentaries.
I will watch them. I will watch every one of them. I can't wait for them, actually.
More people are gonna watch those documentaries than actually watch G4.
Yes.
It's gonna go down in history as being like the Arch Deluxe or the.
There you go. You should do the documentary of it.
I'm not doing the doc. I haven't really. I just didn't care that much. I was just looking at it from a bird's eye view. As someone who used to watch the old Tech TV and G4 and was actually kind of sort of excited that they were coming back with some of the original people. Stupid me. I was just like, how can you have that much money, those kinds of resources, and fail so catastrophically? And we're gonna.
Well, they did.
They did. Like, just, you know that scene in The Dark Knight when the Joker just lights the money on fire? That's basically what they did.
It's like everything was set up for you. You have to literally go out of your way to fuck it up.
And apparently they did.
Yes.
Apparently they did. So we're gonna talk about this, Peter Pischke. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right.
Let's call him Peter.
Peter, Blue Check Journo, put this article out on Bleeding Full, actually, and supposedly talked to some people from G4. Got some inside info on what actually went down, so we're going to take a look at this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 277,000 subs. Woo-hoo! Thank you for the support. We're still here. G4 is not, weirdly enough, we had a fraction of their audience, and we got a lot more views than they did, which was part of the problem.
To be fair, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. There are literally people who just started on Twitch or YouTube streaming that got more views than G4, and they're millions and millions of dollars, and their 60,000 square foot Burbank studio. Yeah. So anyway, this is coming from Bleeding Full. Of course, we talked about how they shut down, and everybody found out they were fired.
Yeah, via tweet or deadline. That's horrible. I will never condone that.
Yeah. So some new information has come to light. According to Nathan Grayson at the Washington Post, G4 had struggled to get guests for their programs. They were paying as much as $30,000. We talked about that. I'm going to postulate that it was probably Amaranth.
They said that same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Amaranth, because that's the only major E-star I can think of that was on there. As vocal as the gaming news community was for new G4, few of them were willing to go on the channel.
That's interesting.
Save face, but she's pretty good with business, I guess. That's a whole nother situation we're not touching. As for Frosk herself, she started to spill the tea. My sexism in gaming segment was approved by all executive showrunners NextPlay. When I was originally hired and cast, G4 made the internal statement that diversity and inclusion was what it was built on to fix the past. I was fully supported initially until the doxing and the threats. Basically, we supported you
until it bit us in the ass.
And look, to be fair, we have seen this happen a lot of times in studios. A lot of times when they walk it back, the unfortunate part of it is sometimes you have well-meaning people. Sometimes you have people that are just complete shit, but you have people towing what they thought was a company line when it turns out to not be very popular. The
line changes.
The goalpost gets moved, and people get fired so the executives can save their asses. Well, here, nobody's ass got saved. Then I asked for support multiple times and was ignored or directly lied to about support coming, no guidelines, no plans, no help, not a single luxury, except for that studio, which is really nice. Then management changed, and it became openly hostile because she became the face of failure. Everybody blamed everything that happened on her, but it was failing before her.
Well, this sounds to me like, okay, it doesn't sound so much they told her to do this. It says that they said when I was hired that they were wanting diversity and inclusion. So it sounds like she kind of took it upon herself to go do this.
Yeah.
And then when they thought it was going to be a positive, it was obviously positively received. They're like, yeah, until it became negatively received.
Okay, now here's where it gets interesting, though. This is what Peter says. He said, this post is curious, even if factually contentious. Everyone I spoke with for background made it very clear that Frosk did not have permission to do that sexism segment and was instead supposed to talk on Red Dead Online.
Because it sounds to me like the way she's wording it isn't that she had permission. It was that, when I came in, they're like, oh, well, we're all about, diversity and all this other stuff. So she took it upon herself, is the way it reads to me, to go and do this. She didn't say they said she could do it. She didn't say that she had it cleared with them to do it. Like people were saying, oh, she had permission. What I'm hearing here doesn't sound that way.
Yeah, it sounds like she thought, well, because this is what they're telling me, I'm going to run with this because that's what I was told they wanted.
That's not what it said. They said that they wanted diversity and inclusion. They never said go right at the mouth.
They never said go out there and alienate, more than half of our audience, please. Either my sources are misinformed, possible, or more likely Frosk had a different understanding of the situation. People have given me heat for saying this in interviews and on social media. Peter says, I've always regarded Frosk's motives as honest and fair. She saw harassment at work on the YouTube comment section and knew her employers had promised to make diversity a centerpiece for them. Frosk may not have understood that DEI projects for big media companies are like memos to sort your cans and plastics in from your recycling, something encouraged, but no one believes it will actually happen. It's possible that some executives knew about her plan ahead of time. Sure, doesn't take away from the fact that none of the other hosts or production team knew about it. That's interesting. None of the other hosts, production team, knew about it. If the executive showrunners knew, they certainly didn't tell anyone else. Now, this is different than the version we've heard from other people that said that this was planned as a publicity stunt because they knew the ratings were bad and they were basically trying to kowtow the Twitch audience.
It would be, but You can't be that stupid. I mean, let's put it this way.
No, they can be that stupid.
You can't be that dumb that if you thought this was going to resonate well.
No, God. Okay. Look at the faces in the segment. Do those say thanks for letting us know ahead of time? Then again, the executives at Comcast just fired everyone on Twitter, so perhaps we shouldn't be surprised if shielding employees from bad information, also damning usable intel as well. However it happened from Frost, we may never know. She claims she'll never speak on G4 again and is leaving the game media industry forever.
Oh, nothing of value is lost.
Oh God! So here's Adam Sessler. His follow-up. Big shout out tonight to those that run G4 for making my life more miserable than usual.
I think you kind of did that to yourself, Adam.
When I'd barely been working for them in the first place, in for a penny, in for a pounding for your bullshit. Adam Sessler. I don't know what the hell happened to him. He is on Twitter 24/7 talking politics, acting grumpy and miserable and just a shell of his former self.
Yeah,
right?
It's like making me more miserable. Is that even possible? Can you make him more miserable than he already is?
Okay, this is interesting. It's come out that Tucker Roberts, who previously dated Olivia Munn, the G4 Classic host, the hot one, the bangable one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got a 7-figure deal in which she would come on the channel for which she never completed but still got paid.
Well, that sounds like a good deal.
It sounds like a damn good deal. That's a deal.
I'll take 7 figures to come on and then still get paid.
They probably had like a kill fee or something. I don't know. That's ridiculous. What we're seeing across several social media channels are employees bereft and lashing out at executives who neither cared enough nor had the competency to manage a gaming media venture.
Well, that's true. And the thing is, I think people that lost their jobs that had nothing to do with Frost's rant and things like that, that led to its downfall, or poor decisions from the executives that led to the downfall. I don't think it's right they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
But sadly, how it works is if somebody fucks up at the top, then shit trickles down.
Well, that's what I never understood, because I'm like, if you've got that kind of money that you can rent the studio space, hire dozens of staffers. I mean, they had 75 people working?
I don't know, but a lot of them had nothing to do with it, but have no job now.
Yeah. and you had that kind of money, I surely would have thought that you would have had, at least a couple $100,000 tucked away for promotion. This is Patrick Scott Patterson, Blue Check TV producer, replying to Pete. The issue there is a lack of executives who understand the demographics.
It's true.
That and they buried it. Why wasn't it on Peacock? Where was the promotion? This is disappointing. I felt it was coming for some time. That's what we're like. How could you be surprised? So here's the thing: like, people are delighted that this thing went down in flames. I think it was avoidable. I think that it sounds to me like they went into this without a plan, without an understanding of where the gaming community is.
They thought they were just going to cash in because they had the G4 name.
Yeah,
much like Hollywood with anything else, they're just going to shut it out. But it's the name everybody knows. So they're just going to eat it up.
Speaking of Peacock, does anybody remember the Saved by the Bell or Punky Brewster reboots?
What happened with those?
I don't know.
Are they still on? I don't know.
I don't think either one of them.
I didn't watch any.
I don't think either one of them was on.
Didn't care.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, this was just another ill-conceived cash grab. They were banking on nostalgia. They could have come back swinging. They could have done it with a fraction of the spend. They could have gone out and actually recruited, some YouTubers or Twitch streamers that were having success on their own, and said, "Hey, why don't you come on? Why don't we build a network before we launch the channel? Get you guys in here and get people excited about the brand, and we're going to throw a couple $100,000 of promotion."
That makes sense.
Just run some damn Google ads on YouTube.
It's Hollywood. They're really, really good at losing money.
They are. Like, shit. I mean, this did not have to go down the way that it went down. Now, I guess as far as like Frosk never, ever, ever being in games media again, I don't know if I believe that. I think she probably will get offered a job. Well, I don't know. Okay. So a lot of these places, the Kotakus and the BuzzFeeds and what, they're laying people off like crazy. So who knows? I mean, there really aren't a lot of places to go anymore. I mean, really, if you want to be in games journalism, games media, you got to kind of do it yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's what G4 fundamentally did not understand, is that people are doing it themselves, or they're doing it with very, very small teams and low overhead, and they've got more reach. It was just a huge failure.
It makes them look bad the whole way around.
It makes them look bad the whole way around. And how they handled laying people off was awful. I mean, It really was. It was. I mean, nobody wants to find out.
Are we surprised? No.
No. This is corporate America. This is how they do things, And the whole damn thing was pure incompetence. What made you think that they were going to be competent in how they handled firing the remainder of their staff?
Yes.
Cool. So anyway, Frosk supposedly leaving forever. Nobody had a plan. I can't wait for those 3-hour documentaries. I'll get a big bucket of popcorn, because this is going to be quite the shit show.
I agree.
We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.